and welcome to another segment of Healthy Living with Melody and Mark.
Healthy
I think
living.
is it Melody and Mark, or is it Mark and
Mark and Melody.
Yeah.
Melody and Mark, Mark and Melody. M&M.
M&M.
But don't eat M&Ms.
No.
Yeah, unless they're dark chocolate, right?
No.
Well, they still
Yeah,
got
but
the
we were out
sugar-coated.
shopping today, and I got tickled because right next to my car pulled up this huge, big truck that said chocolate. And I said, that ought to be against the law.
Yeah.
You know, they should not pull up with a chocolate truck next to a woman's vehicle. But, you know, I love carob anyway, so they can have all their chocolate.
Hey, we can make chocolate
We can.
without all the unhealthy food that's in chocolate.
We've done that before. We have. We've made cheese, Mark.
That tastes exactly like cheese with none of the animal fat, none of the cholesterol, meats.
I had a lady tell me the other day, she said, oh, I just can't wait to start eating this way. But she said, one of my favorite things in the whole world are waffles. And I'm like, we have waffles for you.
Oh, I know. We got to do our waffle segments.
Yes,
We've
we
got
do.
so many waffles to create for you.
We even, Mark, we even have a waffle that is an almond joy waffle.
I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart.
Yeah, Mark is a singer as well as a chef.
You will have joy when you start eating healthy.
Yes.
I'll tell you, I have more joy since I started eating healthy than I've ever had in my entire life. Let me tell you, back when I was 325 pounds, I was still a good worker, you know, but I never had the joy. I never had the energy. I never had the, you know,
zeal.
the thanks to the Lord that I, you know,
that you have now.
Living a healthy life, man, it just changes everything.
And it's not just healthy, Mark. It's that spiritual connection that you have to God.
Absolutely.
And we're getting our spiritual food. We're getting our physical food. We're getting love and support from our family and the people that are around us. And I think the most important to me, Mark, or one of the most important, is this ministry and how rewarding it is when people come up and say, you've made a difference in my life, or you're standing up there and you're talking to them and you see that light bulb. You see it go on. I've seen people in tears because they've tried everything and nothing works, and finally something that they can take and run with and say, this is just logical.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. And so I can't imagine, I mean, it's tiring. We're away all the time. We're filming. I mean, we work 6 days a week and we work hard days.
Yeah.
But it's so fulfilling because we know we're making a difference in somebody's life, just like it did in ours.
It's good to be active.
It is good to be active.
And we do. I mean, sometimes we're doing these cooking shows either here or we're out on the road, and that's what we do. Melody's on the road. I don't know how many months a year. I'm doing the same thing, and then we get together, do these recordings. And let me tell you, our job is to help you get healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually, and we've got the strategies. Let me tell you, we've been there. We've been overweight. We've been unhealthy. We know what it takes to transform your life into a healthier you.
We've been obese.
Yeah.
I mean, 265 pounds plus right here. And I've lost over 100 pounds. And I was right on the border of diabetes. I had hypertension. They wanted to put me on 2 medications. I was taking a beta blocker for 22 years. 22 years, Mark. And I was a sick girl. I call myself fat and sick.
And how many drugs are you on now?
0.
Really?
I haven't been on any. 60 years old.
Imagine that.
60 years old on no medication. We were talking about it today when we were out, and you said, I'll be doing this when I'm 75. And I said, I hope not, because that means I'm going to be 85, but because we're 10 years difference in our age. But our ages don't match up to our bodies because of our energy.
Wouldn't that be something, though, if we're up there at 75, 85 years old, still doing these cooking shows and be up there? And, who's that guy that did the shakes and the stuff?
Jack LaLanne.
Yes.
Are you talking about Jack LaLanne?
Yeah. I mean, the guy's just got such energy at that age. And so he's an inspiration at that age.
Yes. I mean, and it can happen. I seen a lady who is a runner, and she gets up every morning at dark and runs, and she's 80 years old, Mark.
Most people can't believe that we're 50 and 60 with the energy that we do and the active lifestyle that we live.
Yes.
I mean, people are like, really? You know, and I see people that are way younger than us, and it's like they are in horrible, horrible shape. And you might be one of those people. And let me tell you, that's why we're here, to transform your life the way God has transformed ours. So keep watching these segments. We've got some cooking to go to.
Let's go cook.
A couple segments today, and then we'll come back and finish up. So
all right, we'll be right back.
enjoy these segments. Hi, Mark and Melody in the kitchen again, and today we're doing something a little fun, a little easy. I don't know where you come up with these recipes, but this has got to be one of the best recipes I've ever seen Melody do.
You know what though? To be honest with you, I was coming home from a seminar. I had been gone months. I was on the road. And my youngest son said, Mom, we're so hungry for pesto pasta. Would you make us some? And I did. And I bought some pine nuts while I was on the road. Very expensive, at a very good quality store, and I made them, and we actually got pine breath after eating the pine nuts, which sometimes pine nuts will do that, and it takes you 2 weeks to get this really disgusting taste out of the back of your throat. It was awful. And I thought, you know, I love pesto, now what am I gonna do? And they were very expensive. I love the pine nuts, they taste great in a recipe, but I thought, now what am I gonna put in there? So I decided, since I love avocados and they're a great essential fat, that I would try making this recipe nut-free.
And it's a pesto, avocado pesto?
Avocado pesto. So I do this,
Nice.
I do them in my seminars, and well, you were at one of my seminars too, and they were well received, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. This bowl's going home with me as soon as she's done.
Yeah. Well, what both of you do.
Yeah, now I've made pesto with soybean nuts.
I've done it with walnuts. Have you done it with
nuts.
walnuts?
I haven't done that one.
Yeah, I've done it with walnuts.
But there's a lot of
too.
other things you can do instead of getting that $16.99 a pound pine nuts.
Yeah, I think at the time I bought mine, they were over $20. So, I mean, they were quite expensive.
So what do we have for ingredients here? We've got,
You know, right here I have garlic underneath the fresh basil. Folks, you can use dried basil, but
Am I using
like
basil
fresh.
here?
Yeah.
This is all going in the mixer.
It's going in the mixer. Throw it in there. And you can put as much garlic as you would like in there.
I think I'm just going to put one in.
Yeah, I like garlic.
Because I know this has got to be one of the strongest garlics
That is
I've
hot
seen
garlic.
in quite a few years.
I'm going to let you spoon in this avocado. And then if you want salt, if you're on a salt-restricted diet, don't put the salt in. I like the real salt. It looks kind of dirty, if you could see that. So we've got some salt here that's got like little flakes of earth in it, but they're minerals, and that's why it's better for you if you're going to eat this kind of salt.
You can get the pits out of there.
I will get the pits out, and I've also got fresh lemon juice. And I do fresh. I don't like canned or jarred lemon juice. I want fresh is best on everything. And nutritional yeast flakes. And that gives me that kind of cheesy flavor, Mark, and just really adds to the flavor. Now, I'm sure there's many ways to get your pits out, but that's how I do it.
Well, this has got to be one of the top 10 amazing. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I like to keep, you know, we could grow avocados sometimes. We ought to do that. Keep the nuts, you put the toothpicks in it with the water, and it roots, and you can grow your avocados.
Yeah. A friend of mine had an avocado tree in his house.
Oh.
Yeah, actually
that's
in
heaven.
his house. Yeah.
Avocado is my favorite fat.
Okay, so we've got that in there.
Okay, here's your lemon juice.
Garlic, nutritional yeast flakes. Do you want all this in there?
All of them.
Okay.
Yes?
And a little shot of lemon juice. And you got a fresh squeezed here. I can see all the pulp in it.
Yes, and salt.
Okay, that's a little bit of salt. Come on, that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
A
looks
pinch.
Like I might need
You
to add
don't
some
even
salt
have
to
to.
it.
You know, folks, I don't really use salt.
And we're just going to blend it up.
Blend it. Go for it.
What do you think? Is that
Ooh,
it?
that was a hard one.
That's it, right?
That's it. Actually, you could have turned it off probably a minute ago.
Oh,
It's so easy. You can chop it all and mash it up if you want to. I just dump it all in the food processor, and it works great.
Okay. Oh, you can smell the
Smell the basil and the garlic. Isn't that wonderful?
That smells great. Okay.
Now, we had 4 avocados here, and 1 garlic. You could put more in. That was a strong garlic. That's why we used just 1, because I like a lot of garlic, and so does Mark.
Yeah, that was really
but it was kind of like a hot one. Fresh lemon juice, basil, and you've seen how much basil. You know, Mark and I, either one of us really have recipes. We make them for you guys, but we don't. We just dump and pour everything. So it's hard for us to measure.
Yeah, I do a lot of that too.
Beautiful, look at that.
How beautiful. You could garnish it if you want to with a little basil. Did you bring your crackers to char?
Basil.
There's a little basil leaf. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh yeah, I got my
A little
crackers
bit
here.
of diced tomatoes on the top of it. Now you get to try it. Now, does it really need salt? Really, it doesn't with the lemon. No. It's
It really
perfect.
doesn't.
Oh, he's so bad. He's so bad. Anyway, look, we didn't use oil. We didn't use nuts. So if somebody has a diet which they're restricted from nuts because of allergies, they can still have their pesto, where in the past they thought they couldn't have pesto because of the nuts.
It's absolutely perfect. Perfect.
It is. It's great. Love
So
it.
that easy to cook healthy at home.
Oh, and I use it for so many things too. I don't use it just for pesto.
Yeah.
I mean, for the pasta with pesto, I use it on many things.
Spreads,
I sure do.
sandwiches,
Sandwiches.
toast in the morning.
Toast. I do it for a lot of things. Yeah.
Even without the basil, you can do
Sure you can.
avocado spreads.
Now,
you know.
now, when it comes to storage, if you've got extra, you know, avocados, whenever it hits air, it starts to break down the color a little bit
Right, right.
on the avocado. And I usually put a little lime juice over the top of it, put my saran wrap right over top.
Airtight.
Airtight.
Get
And
the oxygen.
even it, yeah, because whenever it does that the next day and I touched it, that means I have to eat it. The next day, if I want to serve it, if it's got just a little brown on top, it's still okay.
Yeah.
There's
just give it
nothing
a
wrong
stir.
with it. Give it a little bit of stir and keep eating.
Or we can do it the way we do it down in Vegas.
What? Yes, people do that. They claim that putting the seed in there helps to keep it green.
Helps keep it green. So that easy. Cooking healthy at home with Mark and Melody, and we will see you next time in the kitchen.
Hi, Melody Prettyman here with the whole message, bringing you your health tip for today. I want to talk to you a little bit about my superfood, the beans. I love beans. They are so packed with so many vitamins, high in fiber. You do know 1 cup serving is 15 grams of protein, not counting the fiber in beans, and they're a complex carbohydrate. A great dish to any diet that you have. There are red beans, pinto beans. I love pinto beans, mostly used in your Hispanic, your Spanish dishes. White beans, my favorite. You know what though? You can buy these in bulk. You can buy them in the supermarket almost anywhere, even in cans. I like to buy mine dry, and then I make them that day, freeze the extras, and I can have them anytime I want. And remember, good health is just one bite away.
Hi, Mark Anthony here to show you another fantastic recipe that you are absolutely going to love. This is one of my favorite recipes of all time, and I'm telling you why, because it is a cheese sauce made out of potatoes and carrots. And when you make this for your guests, they will never ever know that it's all vegan. And I've done this for many years all around the country, by the way. This is one of my signature ones that I teach around the country. And what I have here is potatoes and carrots. I did peel these potatoes and carrots because I just want to give you that visual appeal. Normally when I'm at home, I do not peel the potatoes and the carrots because I still want that nutrients that are coming from the skins. But just to let you know, we've got boiled potatoes and carrots. And let me show you, I am not even gonna measure anything. This is gonna be so easy. What you need to know when you're making this is that the majority has to be in potatoes. In fact, I can do this whole thing. I'm gonna do it all in one shot here. It's gonna take an extra minute, but since I've got enough here, yeah, the majority has to be in potatoes because the potatoes is your starch. That is your thickening agent to give it a thickness. But potatoes and carrots, and I'm gonna share with you a couple more items that I put in here. No measurements, onion, some garlic, and let me just set these over here. Onion, garlic, nutritional yeast flakes. Now the nutritional yeast flakes, that's a derivative of molasses. It's a really good item. And then McKay's chicken style seasoning. And you can really use any type of chicken style seasoning. There's paste that you can get at Whole Foods, things like that. It really doesn't matter. You can use a number of different ones. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of juice.
This is the potato water, and you'll see how high I'm going up on it. This is the way I measure it, because I want it to get right up to about here. And so we're going to get a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, right about there. And just like that, there's our ingredient list. You can put a little bit of olive oil in there if you want. That will actually give it a glistening effect. It really makes it look like cheese. And you can also do some lemon in there if you want. You can do a squeeze of lemon in there. Gives a little longer shelf life, things like that. But since my wife likes it like this is the way I'm making it today. And we're gonna get this baby blending. It takes about 2 minutes and then it'll be done. So we'll start on low and then get it volumized from there. Okay, just like that, and check this out. You have got a velvety cheese sauce that is just gonna blow people away. And woo boy, let me tell you, this is so fantastic. Look at this. Nobody would ever know the difference. One thing about this cheese, the less water you put in, the thicker it's gonna get. It also thickens up a little bit when you're gonna refrigerate it and reheat it. Nice part about this is you can refrigerate it. You can put it in the refrigerator, bring it out the next day or the next week even, and it will turn right back into cheese. Even in the freezer, if you put it in the freezer and pull it out, because we'll make big batches. When we pull it out, we put it in the fridge, and then when we recook it, we just have to take a wire whip and it whips right back into cheese. Fantastic for using it for queso dips. You can add salsas to it, green chilies, macaroni and cheese. You can just take cooked macaroni, mix it together, boom, it's done. Now if you're gonna bake with it, you've gotta look at a couple elements because you don't want the moisture being sucked out of this. So for baking things, you wanna cook it at a hotter temperature, faster, shallower pans, things like that. So you got a couple tweaks there. But for other things too, let me tell you, to do broccoli cheese soup. Just take your broccoli and vegetables, cook them off, you know, with the least amount of water, add some cheese sauce to it, boom, you got broccoli cheese. Potato cheddar, I mean, the list goes on and on. This is gonna be one of the recipes that you are gonna have all the time. And for chips, look at that. Man, that is just plain and simple, amazing cooking. We did this at my sister's for a whole football team, and they never knew that it was vegan. So try it. Once you do it 2 or 3 times, that was so good. Once you do it a couple times, you're not even gonna need a recipe. If you do, the recipe's on my website. You can just go down there and copy an exact recipe. But after you do it once or twice, you're just gonna be able to eyeball it. And you've got your onion, your garlic, your nutritional yeast flakes, McKay's chicken style seasoning, boom, 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 and it's done. So I knew you were gonna love this, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Hey, Mark Anthony here to give you another Doctor of the Day moment, and I've got a good one for you today. I've got a really good one, and that's Dr. Neil Nedley. And let me tell you, he's got the depression recovery down to a science. You know how every doctor I talk about has a little bit different specialty, and these are all great doctors. They all know about the plant strong lifestyle, but some have different specific specialties. And Dr. Nedley's known specialty, I would have to say, would be the depression recovery, even though he goes into a lot of different elements. And just to let you know, this is not coffee. I'm sure Dr. Nedley would have something to do about that. But I've got this Roma. This is just a caffeine-free grain. It's actually from Germany. Let me see if it's ingredients: barley and chicory and roasted rye. So And then I always add a little bit of stevia to it, that's my favorite stevia drink. But anyway, when it comes to Dr. Nedley, let me tell you, he's really got the depression recovery down to a science. We'll click on his website here, and his website is nedleyhealthsolutions.com. Nedley healthsolutions.com. And he's got a pretty good state-of-the-art website here. Some of the things he's got programs here. He's got community depression recovery, residential depression, which program is right for you, training. So there's a whole bunch of programs here. He's got a store. Of course, he's got depression recovery, health and wellness, cookbooks. Once again, I don't know about flavor. I always do that because I really don't know about their flavoring. But I've ran into a few of them that just horrible flavoring. But there's a whole bunch of good information, especially when it comes to depression. There's a lot of people that are depressed. There's a lot of people out there that are a lot more depressed than they think they are. And until they actually live a healthier life, they will never realize how depressed they actually were. You know, in today's society, I would say there's a huge number of people who have no idea how depressed they are because they've never lived a different life. And I'll tell you what, I had a lot of problems in my life. And as soon as I started eating a plant-strong lifestyle, I was looking back saying, man, I don't have those problems anymore in my life, but I never knew I had those problems because I never experienced anything else. And so I'm sure Neil Nedley goes through a lot of this, but some of his books right here, The Lost Art of Thinking, Depression, The Way Out. His most popular one is probably Depression Recovery Program, which comes with a DVD and everything. Now, one thing that Dr. Neil Nedley has here is he has supplements available on his website. Now, you know I've always talked about how doctors should never be selling this little miracle drug for whatever problems you have. Now, in this particular case, he's not selling his own drugs. He's got some products available there for depression, like it might be vitamin E or vitamin this or that, which can be very helpful for people with depression. But he's not selling it as his own label. He doesn't say, hey, you have to buy my pill in order to be saved from your depression. He says, you know, hey, you might need this vitamin. Or, you know, he'll do blood tests and say, look, you're definitely low on this. You're going to need this particular vitamin. And you can buy it from me at this price, or you can buy it from anybody you want, but you need it. You know, so there's a big difference between somebody selling you their own product and somebody who's just recommending you need those. And I'm sure when people go to his clinic, which I think he's over at the Weimar Institute in California, and you know, so they've got to have things available for them up at that remote location. So I understand what he's talking about. And yeah, here, you can look at this here. I'll even show you real quick. You can see the brands that he's carrying. They're different brands. And Solaray, I know that's a particular one that I've seen around the country. And this Cal. But there's particular ones here that are specifically designed to help people with depression. And you know, because everybody is a little bit different, you know, and sometimes people are low on this or low on that. And sometimes I'm sure there's a whole bunch of natural foods that he also has to show you, you know, eat more of this food or this food. So, but I'll tell you, when it comes to depression, that's your go-to person. And if you've got problems or things like that, get a hold of Neil Nedley, and I'm sure he will have the answers for you. So another one of my top 10 doctors in the whole wide world. That's how much I trust people like Neil Nedley. And so there you go, Neil Nedley at nedleyhealthsolutions.com. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time. Hi, Mark Anthony here with Melody Prettyman again, and let me tell you, she has got a cheese recipe that I have never done before. And what exactly are you doing with rice?
Well, I'm eliminating fat. And I was really looking for a cheese sauce recipe, which my old one was really great, but it had cashews or it had almonds, so the nuts are fattening. And a lot of people don't realize that when you are trying to lose weight, you're trying to eliminate fat, cholesterol, that especially for somebody who's overweight, maybe have an eating problem, nuts are a trigger food. So I wanted to come up with a recipe, because I love cheese sauce, that didn't have the fat in there. So I designed it with cooked brown rice and a potato.
Oh, wow. Now, I do the cheesy sauce with potatoes and carrots, but I've never done one with potatoes and rice, so this will be a whole new experience for me.
So we've got the Vitamix. You need a blender. If you do not have a Vitamix, just puree until it's as silky as possible. There's nothing worse than a cheesy sauce that's gritty.
No, can't have that.
Right, so just dump and pour. You're just going.
Everything's going in here.
Everything's going in there.
So let me you can hand me what's next, and
we're going to do some potato.
So is that about equal parts? And
It is. That was a really big potato. And nutritional yeast flakes. This is our cheese flavor, and it's our B12.
You want all this in there?
All of it. I want all of it.
That's about a half a cup there. And you'll have the exact recipe on your website?
We'll have it on my website. They can go right there and get it. This is for color, and it's also good for flavor.
Fire roasted red bell pepper.
Yes, and that is your cornstarch.
Cornstarch.
Or arrowroot powder, whichever you want to use.
Okay.
Onion powder.
Okay. Tablespoon of that.
Tablespoon of the onion powder. And let's see, Mark, we also want some lemon juice and salt.
How much you want in there?
You want to put about a tablespoon in there. You know, salt is your preference. So if you're on a low salt diet, add low salt. If you're on a no salt diet, no salt. If you like lots of salt, put in what you want.
Okay. You're going to need some water in here too, so I'm going to
Yes, you are.
say
you
when.
have to. Should I just say when for you? No, you keep going. Now, if you were using nuts, keep going. I put your water to about right here.
Oh, okay.
If you were using nuts, Mark, you would want the least amount of water as possible, because you want to puree those nuts. Well, we don't have, it's not as hard here.
Yeah, and you got the starch in there for a thickening agent anyway.
Yes, we do. And that's your lemon juice. Fresh is best. I use 1 lemon.
That's okay, whole lemon.
Whole
Got
lemon. And it's gonna take a few minutes, but we're gonna blend this and get it all creamy.
it. You want it creamy.
Creamy.
Okay.
That looks good, Mark. See how creamy that looks?
Yeah, and you want it.
And every blender's going to be different depending on the make, your blender, how the horsepower in it, but you want it that very creamy, silky consistency.
Tastes good. And the nice part about this too is, see, this is thinner. This is thinner than my cheese sauce.
Well, we're going to thicken it.
I'm finishing it in my blender. So people that don't have that high-powered blender, I don't recommend doing my cheese sauce, but you could do this one.
You could. And the reason for this, and I might have to add a little bit more water in here as it cooks, because that cornstarch or arrowroot powder is going to thicken up. And I always say add however much water you want to the thickness that you want your cheese sauce. You might want something really thick for a recipe, or you might want something thinner. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the color.
So we're going to let that cook. 10 minutes maybe?
10 minutes maybe.
5-10 minutes?
Yes, and whenever you're using arrowroot powder or using cornstarch, stir consistently, continuously on the stove, because it will go to the bottom and it'll scorch really easy.
So let's let that cook, and we'll come back and
Sure.
and I'll grab some chips.
Chips. Awesome. All right, Mark, we've been stirring here now for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the temperature that you want it on the stove. So it's up to you. And the thickness. I added a little water to
I
this
saw that.
to make it the consistency I wanted. And this is just perfect. And I'm going to pour this.
You mean just enough time to clean up and
Just enough time. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
velvety.
I could eat that. That looks like a bowl of cheddar cheese soup. Yummy.
Yes, it's actually velvety.
It is velvety. And I'm making a mess over here. That's okay. I can clean it.
I've got some homemade chips here. If you haven't seen our episode on homemade chips, we have that.
How's that taste? Do you miss the fat?
No.
That's the most important thing. Do you really miss the fat in the recipe? Because the nuts do give it this really creamy consistency and that satiety of fat on the tongue. But I've noticed I use this in most every recipe: macaroni and cheese, my cheesy au gratin potatoes, my cheesy grit bake, homemade polenta bake in the morning. I do it for almost every cheese recipe that I'm.
Wow, wow. I can see where people might want to tone down the red pepper. I like red pepper, so this fits
too.
me perfect. But you can probably do some adjustments. Every recipe is that way. You know, we try to give you just the basics and let you adjust from there. But once you got the concept, this is the concept that people need.
This is
because
it.
they can do a no-fat.
No fat.
Recipe.
They can do that, no fat. Now, if you didn't like red bell pepper or you had an allergy, you know, my specialty is allergies. I do a lot of cooking for allergies. I would use carrot.
That's what I do.
I use carrot, tomato. Tomato's another thing. So you just want to use something to give it the color, the appearance of cheese.
Right.
So anything that would be in that color that would be for your diet, whatever your diet consists of, then you could use that. I like the fire roasted bell pepper the best.
Perfect. And then we are going to have a couple more recipes that we're actually using this particular item for. So you'll be able to reference on this one anytime on our websites or on the YouTube channels. So.
Yes, and my website is melodyprettyman.com. My email is melodyprettyman@gmail.com if you want to ever email me with any questions, or go to my website for free recipes and information.
All right. So that's it for this episode, and we will see you next time in the kitchen. Hey, Mark and Melody in the kitchen, and today Melody has one of her spectacular recipes. I've been begging her to do this like month after month after month to make some au gratin potatoes because she's just got such a simple, fabulous recipe for it.
Yeah, my kids' favorite, when they was little, they'd say, "Mama, we want some au rotten potatoes." That's what they thought they were.
Au rotten potato, au gratin.
They couldn't say au gratin, so they'd say au rotten. And I imagine the neighbors thought, what in the world is she feeding her kids?
Yeah, you never know.
Isn't that funny? Memories are worth millions. But I have some of the cheesy sauce, and we've done this on another segment before, Mark.
Right.
Also, you can always go to our website, so the recipes we do are always out there.
Yeah, and a lot of times I put them right on the ends of the clips too, so
that's
people can
good.
just pause and get it there. Now these potatoes right here, we did a baked potato segment where we had a whole bunch of baked potatoes, and I wanted to cook some extra ones because there's so many different things you can do with them. And you actually peeled these potatoes and sliced them, and
I did, you know,
so they're ready to
nothing
go.
fancy, but like Mark, when I make something like potatoes or rice, I make a lot of it.
Make a batch.
Baked potatoes too, because I will use them and incorporate them in another recipe.
Absolutely.
So that's not anything uncommon.
Yeah, we're showing you how to do things easier,
Simple.
more efficient in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. Hand me that bowl right there, Mark.
You want this bowl?
I want
Okay.
that bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this cheese sauce right in this bowl because I want to mix the sour cream with it. And I use the Tofutti sour cream just for the sake of me spilling everything all over the countertop here. This is television. We don't cut anything, do we, Mark? And
Well, you know, some of these places it would be a cut in the very next clip.
Would be
this
clean.
would all be gone right
yeah,
now.
it is right now. I knew it'd be gone. It wouldn't take long.
Need salt.
I knew he was going to say that. And what did I tell you ahead of time?
She says, "Hey, here's the salt. You're gonna need it."
Because I really don't salt
She
my
did.
food. And so I thought, you know, I feel like people can always salt what they want at the table. But for myself, I am very sensitive to sodium, Mark. So you know me, no sugar, no salt, no what?
Oil.
Oil, SOS.
SOL on the SOS. Is that the way it works?
I guess it does. But what I've done is I put my sour cream in with my cheese sauce, and I'm going to add some of the
Yeah,
potatoes.
I mean,
I'll let
you want
do
these
this.
in here, right?
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
you sprayed this already.
I just a little bit. If I had a pan that didn't call for, you know, like a Teflon or something, which, you know, I don't use them. That's
That enough
plenty.
for you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's plenty. Do you need some more?
I'm fine.
You got fine?
Yeah.
And all I'm going to do is
This is your recipe.
I'm just going to pour some of,
Some of.
all of,
That looks like all of it.
yeah, Well, I've still got some over here in the pot if I need some more. I'm gonna put it right in there. Now, if you're celiac and you don't want to put any of the breadcrumbs on the top, you could always take something like your corn flakes that are made with grape juice instead of the sugar, and you can grind them up and put them over the top, and that makes a real good toasting effect on the top, Mark.
But this is it.
This is it. This is it.
This is it.
This is my all rotten potatoes, as my kids call them, but these are my all rotten potatoes. You could put a little nutritional yeast flakes. You can make your vegan Parmesan cheese and put over the top of them with those breadcrumbs, or with like a cereal, and that just depends on if the person has an allergy to wheat or not. So
Normally, I do the simple recipe, and Melody kicks it up a notch. And I knew Melody was going to be doing the simple recipe, so I thought I'd kick this one up a notch. And so this is all you got to do?
well, that's pretty much it, Mark. I'm gonna put it in the oven and bake it. But like I said, you know, you can put breadcrumbs, you can put anything on top of that. Normally I'll cover that if I don't have anything on the top, and just make sure that everything incorporates nice. And then just before I'm ready to bring it out of the oven, I might kick the broiler on just a little bit and make it golden, you know, give it a crispiness on the top.
All right, I'm gonna set this aside for right now. And then we're gonna work on mine. I'm gonna do a little separate creation, and I want you to add some cheese to this.
Okay.
You don't have any sour cream. Let me see if I've got any more sour cream here.
Oh, we've always got sour cream.
Which I do, Tofutti sour cream, of course.
Now, how much do you want, Mark?
Oh, just kick it up. Overdo it.
Overdo it.
Usually way to open those there.
Now,
Add
you're
a little
gonna
bit of
want
cream
salt
and mix
in
it up.
yours.
Yeah, add a little bit of cream and mix it up.
All right. Hand me a
give it a
spoon
shot
down there.
of-
I don't want to use this spoon. It's got orange on it.
Okay.
All right. Is that going to be
Oh, right,
enough?
for that. Now, you bet. Just, yeah,
Okay.
we'll do a little stir on that. Now, what I've got here is I've got some fire roasted red bell pepper I want to put in here. And some of this fake meat. Now, if you, I got to show this to the camera here real quick. Let me show this. If you can take a look at this. Does this look like real meat?
It looks like liver or duck.
I mean, look at that. This is duck.
Okay.
And it's actually one of these brands, Compion,
Okay.
which is an Asian one, which doesn't have all the chemicals in it like some of the American ones do.
Now, is that a soy product,
And
Mark?
look, it even has what looks
Oh
like
my.
skin on it. Is that amazing or what?
It is.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna actually just bust these in here. It is
It's a soy product.
wheat.
Oh, a gluten
It's a gluten product.
Okay.
Yeah, but look at that. Just
Yeah,
so we're gonna bust
nice.
this up in here. Because my thought is, you know, you've got this wonderful recipe for au gratin, but man, you can do anything with it.
Sure you can.
And most people use au gratin as a side dish
So now this is an entree.
You kick
We've
it
just
up
incorporated it to an entree.
with something like this, and you run it right into an entree. So go ahead and mix that up, and then I'll just do it. We're just gonna do a little ramekin of this one.
All right.
I know that's my little ramekin.
Yeah.
The big
Small
ones are like,
ramekin.
whoa.
Have we sprayed it?
Yeah, you better.
Just a little. You don't need much.
Okay. So this is going to be a nice, meaty, hearty.
Mark, isn't that cheese sauce though a beautiful color?
Spectacular.
How bright! I love cheese sauce. It's and you know I make mine with rice and potatoes, and sometimes I make it with the nuts. All right.
And sometimes people's televisions might look a little different in color. So we run a real high definition, real high quality. But I've seen some other TVs and I'm like, man, this looks different on your TV than that TV.
Sure it
so,
will.
yeah, every TV is a little bit different.
Now you're putting, what is this here?
Just breadcrumbs.
Just breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Are they seasoned or just regular
Yeah,
bread?
just seasoned breadcrumbs. We make these from scratch. I've done a couple episodes on them. And just like that. And we're going to put that in the oven.
Awesome.
We'll put these in together, bring them out together, and see how they look.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, Melody, I got some parsley chopped up for you. These
that.
just came out of the oven here a little while ago, but I let them cool down a little bit because they were bubbling and just needed to rest a little bit.
So you just let them set up, tighten up.
Right, exactly. So, what do you think?
I think we can plate some if you'd like to, Mark.
Okay. And I mean, this is kind of a scooping thing, isn't it?
It is a scooping thing.
It really is.
Like you just scoop right in there.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh, yes.
Is that, look at it's steaming hot. Look how hot it is.
I'm loving it.
But
oh,
look
Mark,
at this.
Look at that.
See how much moisture is in that?
And no, there was no oil. Absolutely
Yeah, it's
no
not like
oil.
it's a soggy, greasy product or anything. So, boom, boom, and wow. That's the wow factor. And what do we got with this?
That
Go ahead, I'll let
is
you scoop that up.
entire meal
And I'm gonna just kind of sprinkle this over the whole thing
that you
for
made,
the company
Mark.
coming over. What do you think?
I'm loving it. This was a meal.
Use it up.
Look, I am so terrible in the kitchen. What do you think?
Just like that. Okay. And you can sprinkle that. So
I'm
there
all
you
about
go.
color.
You've got a couple different ways that you can do au gratin potatoes. You've got the original version.
I know where those are going. I knew it.
Well, that's the one with the breadcrumbs, so I knew you weren't going to do that.
No,
Little
I
Miss
won't.
Celiac over here.
Yeah, I do miss bread, but guess what? I'm going to get to eat in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, bread. The bread.
You're more
alive.
gluten intolerant than being a celiac. You've had wheat a little bit here.
Yeah, I can. It's been several years, so every now and then I'll eat wheat. It's just like a Mack truck runs over me, but
Yeah.
I'll punish myself. but-
Sometimes I'll like, Melody, come on, try a little bit. Just a little. You got to try it.
Get thee behind me.
Yeah, and she does that sometimes.
I do.
What do I look like? Satan?
No, but you're tempting. You just put that food in front of
Yeah.
me. I love it when he makes something like a dessert and says, Melody, you have no idea how good this tastes.
And you're never gonna know either.
No, that's
Most
what
of
he
the time,
says, and you're
most
never
of the time
gonna
he does
know.
she does pretty good. But
Yeah.
wow, this has got to be one of the best au gratin potatoes you'll ever have, and it's vegan, gluten-free.
Very low fat. I mean,
Low fat.
There's a little bit of fat in there with the meat you have, but I mean,
You've
that's
got your
it.
good carbs, your good starches.
Complex carbohydrates, not the simple. And for people like myself, who was right there at that insulin level of diabetes, and I lost a dad, 2 brothers with the same thing, and I eat a lot of potatoes.
So there you go. We're giving you the solutions on how to live a healthier life. So take these steps with you and share them with other people so they too can get healthy, because that's our job, is to help each other get healthy. And we will see you next time in the kitchen.
Goodbye.
Hi, Mark Anthony here to see if you know which one of these ice creams would be the best one for you. And I did a little homework on this, and I just wanted to share this with you real quick because these are all vegan. There's a lot of people that are going vegan. Amen to that. That's probably the best, healthiest thing you could ever do. And I want to share with you a couple things though, because here's same brand, Soy Delicious, So Delicious, however you pronounce that. And one of these is an almond milk and the other one is a coconut milk. There's differences, huge differences between the two of these. And I just want to share this with you because here we go. Calories, this is the coconut milk. Calories is 100 calories. Calories from fat is 70%. This is 70% calories from fat. And a lot of people say, well, it's coconut. Well, it's still calories from fat. Still activates the liver to produce more cholesterol and a few other things. So you want to make sure that you stay away from these items that are 70% calories from fat. Now this one here, same brand, but this one is your almond milk. And this one here is 130 calories, but only 40 calories from fat. So it's less than half the calories from fat that the coconut milk has. So that's what I wanted to share with you, just a quick clip here. So when you do your homework in the grocery stores, just look at the labels, read those labels, and you're gonna find out that there's a huge difference. Now this is an almond milk from another brand, 140 calories, 60 calories from fat. So it's about 30% more than the So Delicious here, Soya Delicious. So that's what you want to look at. There's also some Italian ices and things like that that are even lower in calories from fat. And what we do at home, and I'll have to do an episode with this, we've got a little champion mixer, we've got a yo-yo blender and things like that that we can take our own fruits and do our own blends. So, but anyway, Mark Anthony here, just want to show you some of the differences between the vegan ice creams that are on the market today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Hi, Mark Anthony here with Abigail Fortier, and today we are going to do some pizzas. Or is it pizza?
It's pita pizza.
Pita pizza. We're doing Greek style. So I think we're going to have to spell it P-I-T-Z-A. Pizza. How's that sound? We'll edit it that way so it's actually spelled like that. And, okay, so Greek pizzas. Here we go. We've got, I'm going to do some cutting here. And we'll get these pitas cut in half. And of course, you have to actually cut through very carefully the sides like this in order to get these cut in half. Because we want, what are you doing?
Cutting spinach and basil.
Basil, yeah. Basil's a good ingredient. Oh, look at this, I'm messing this up already. Not too bad. Yeah, you gotta be very careful when you're opening these things up, because they can be kind of tricky and you end up cutting through the bottom just like I did. But they're pretty good, huh? Not too bad. Mm-hmm. Not too bad for an amateur like myself. And then, being that it's a Greek rather than Italian, we're actually going to use hummus for the sauce. So we just put some hummus on here, just like that. And I can go all the way out to the ends even. We can really make sure this goes to the ends. What do you think? Something like that? Mm-hmm. And then this is right at the top. So you can put whatever toppings you want on it. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay.
So first I'm going to put cheese on mine.
Okay.
Why is this cheese so cold?
I actually got that out of the freezer. That's the Daya cheese. And you can actually freeze it. And it's really awesome cheese. It melts and everything. Okay, so there's another one, and I think I'm gonna, yeah. I'll do an original one. Mm-hmm.
What's that powder back there? I saw it when I was reaching for the tomatoes.
That is actually cornmeal. In fact, let me show you what we're gonna do with that. I'm gonna spray my pan, and then you can spray yours. And this cornmeal, if you put a little bit on the pan like this, what it does, if back in the olden days, they used to put these in the brick ovens with cornmeal, and that way they could slide them in and out. So just enough cornmeal to give it that illusion that it came out of a brick oven. So that's what that's for. And grab me that olive oil over there. I'm gonna make an original Greek pizza, which would actually be the hummus and a little olive oil. And then it would not have any cheese on it. You could take some garlic and sprinkle some garlic on it, and then whatever toppings you want. So that would be something totally different. What you got there?
Making a smiley face.
Smiley face. Oh, okay. This is the fun part because everybody in the family can make their own pizza. What do you think?
This is fun.
Yeah, something different. Okay. So just like that, I've got my pizza ready to go. Okay. And how are you doing? You ready with that one? You gonna be able to lift it up okay?
Yep.
And then I'm gonna start working.
Forgot the cornmeal.
Yeah, and you don't need to do the cornmeal, but that really makes it a nice, authentic type of wow factor. So I'm gonna be very careful.
You like mine?
I love it. That's the nice part. We can just sit and create. Okay, you want me to do this on the topping for you real quick? Okay.
I want to do an authentic one now.
Any way you want to make them.
I like how that one turned out. It's pretty. Where's the olive oil? I beat you.
Okay, well.
You beat me at Pop-Tarts, I beat you at this.
I had to cut them all. No, that's not fair. Okay, let me get this done real quick here. In fact, we got some extra ingredients. I'm just going to pop these on here. And so basically, you've got your Greek items, which is your, fire roasted red bell peppers, your Greek olives. You don't have to use the olive oil if you don't want to. That's always, you can do this as a low fat, low oil, low sugar, low salt, low everything. So what do you think? Just like that?
Yeah.
You can put a little cheese on top. So these are going to go in the oven. Normally you would cook them at a hotter temperature at about 425 degrees for 7 to 10 minutes. But we've got ours on 375 and we'll probably have it in there for about less than 10 minutes and it'll be ready to go. So, okay, let's get these in the oven. Hey, all right. That's what happens in the kitchen. So we'll get these in the oven and be coming back to you in just about 10 minutes. Look at that, 2 with 1 hand. I got to check on the pizza. I think we're ready. Woo, boy, look at that. And yours?
I can tell which one is mine because I did a face.
You got the smiley face on yours. Okay, there you go. Now, all you're really going to have to do is just give this a quartering like that. And you want me to chop one for you? Like that. And then I just use one of these. Okay, there you go. And just like that, you got a gorgeous pizza. Pizza. A pita pizza. We'll have to learn how to pronounce that. Are you good? Yeah. You gonna try some? Mm-hmm. Might be a little hot.
Hot. Good, but hot.
That is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It even tastes Greek. I feel like we're in Greece. Without the grease. Because this is a healthier pizza. So, that fast, that easy.
I like the hummus.
I think Abby is speechless. It is that good. And you can do different things on here. You could put the spaghetti sauce, or you could put marinara or pizza sauce. Pineapple, yeah. Olive oil. You can do cream sauces with a garlic cream sauce. A lot of different black bean. You can do a black bean sauce on it. So there's a lot of different things you can do, but it's fun, and the kids can all have their own pizzas, and that easy to get yourself a healthy alternative to pizza at home. So Mark Anthony with Abigail Fortier saying thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time in the kitchen. Hi, Mark Anthony here, and I just want to encourage you to continue eating a healthier lifestyle. You know, there's a lot of people that roller coaster around there. I've done it many times over the years, and people that have been excessively overweight like me, it's very difficult to lose the weight and then maintain the weight, because any little thing can make us pop up and down. And I roller coaster from about 10, 20 pounds one way or the other, but right now I'm at my low side at 75 pounds. Still need to lose a few more pounds, and but I feel healthy. I feel healthier than I ever have my entire life. And even with a few extra pounds, I could lose another 20 pounds, but I feel fantastic now. So just keep taking those steps, one step at a time, and eventually you'll get there. So you be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
So how did you enjoy cooking that?
I love cooking.
I do too,
My
Mark.
kitchen is an entertainment center.
It is.
It is.
It is, and we have fun in the kitchen.
Yeah,
'cause
people
we
come
like
over
what we
to-
eat,
yeah.
we like what we do.
Yeah, they want to be entertained. They come over.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the truth. I love it whenever you have people over at your house and how you set things up, and the people are always like, "What has Mark got this time?" And it's
Yeah,
fun.
and let me tell you, I don't have a big kitchen. I don't have this fancy, massive kitchen. Our studio kitchen is actually better than my kitchen at home. And I still function just fine with that simple kitchen.
Because of the organization.
So, right. And we'll show you how to do a lot of that too. So,
Yeah, in our series.
by the way, we've got our Facebook pages and YouTube pages are very popular. To go to the YouTube and you can see all the segments. And if you want to cook one particular thing, you can just go to the segment and you don't have to sit there and watch 2 hours of cooking to learn how to make something that only takes 5 minutes to cook. That's why we do these segments. And we want you to share those segments with everybody you can. Just give them out. We want our information given out.
Facebook us. I mean, I have Simply Yummy Food, Melody Prettyman.
And you have a new book coming out.
I do have a new
So
book
that'll
coming
be
out.
exciting.
It's an unprocessed for people who are really struggling because they have to eliminate the sugar and the oil and low sodium in their diet. So I have structured some recipes that are very tasty, but to help you during this transition.
Yep. So there you go. Keep tuning in, and we will see you next time on Healthy Living.
Goodbye.